Thanks for your cooperation.
Aloha, good afternoon, everybody. On this pleasant Wednesday from Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University, we welcome you to this elimination game in the 2024 UHSAA 6A Baseball Tournament. And today, it's the matchup nobody expected to see in an elimination game. The two best teams in the state, Riverton and American Fork, playing for the right to keep their season alive. My broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson, Alexander Timolip, joining you here from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here at Larry H. Miller Field. Ty, when this tournament started, we were looking at each other. Nobody could have foreseen Riverton and American Fork playing to keep their season alive in a game like this.
And not an elimination game. I would say absolutely not, Alex. Riverton and American Fork, both powerhouses originally. And keep in mind, this is a 1 versus 4 seed playing for elimination. That is in and of itself just a crazy statistic. Not only just going into this game, but just having both seasons at fate for the end of the season. One has to go home, and the other one has to face against Lehigh in a rematch.
That's right, the winner gets Lehigh in the rematch later tonight at 7 p.m. But first things first, they got to win this game. And we talked about these two teams played against Lehigh in 2 consecutive days. They absolutely gave Lehigh everything they could handle, but Lehigh was just so much better than them in the end.
It was just the prevailing factor that Lehigh had and the depth in their lineup that kind of just took over the relieving part of the pitching for American Fork yesterday. I mean, that 4-2 win, you could hardly even script something like that, Alex. We said it was pretty much like out of a movie. But again, American Fork is going to have to seek redemption, but they're going to have to play 2 games in order to do that if they can knock off Riverton. Either of these teams will have to play 2 games, and then they'll have to play against Lehigh, the powerhouse so far in this tournament, as we've seen.
Yep, they'll have to play 3 games in the next 2 days if they want to move on, both of these teams. Time to look at who the 2 veterans, Jared Angersall and Jay Applegate, have put out as their winning teams this afternoon. We'll start with the Riverton Silverwolves, but we'll let Carson Moody, who is pitching today, stand into the batter's box first for the Riverton Silverwolves. In Silverwolves Cavemen Chapter 4 in the postseason. The first pitch by Gabe Hollenbach is there for a strike, and we're off and running.
Alex, it's interesting, the tradition that Riverton has in the first inning. All the players, they show off their bleach blonde hair out there to kind of commemorate this first inning for Carson Moody.
This one is golf foul. Past the roof, so not time for a random roof ringer. Presented by Any Hour Services. 0-2 the count on Carson Moody, the leadoff man against Gabe Hollenbach. Number against number matchup. 0-2 pitch. Down and in, ball 1.
There it is right there, Alex. Look at all those bleach blonde heads down there in the dugout.
Seems to be a thing these days.
Especially for the playoffs. It's do or die.
1-2. Ground ball. Base hit to right. And Carson Moody leads off the game with a single. And just as he did, was HBP'd on the first pitch of the year against American Fork. He reaches base for the first time in the playoffs against American Fork. Quickly the lineup for Riverton, and who Jay Applegate has put together as his winning team this afternoon. Presented by Heidemann and Associates, the team committed to winning for you, the client. Carson Moody, Caden Allred, Zach Edwards, the top 3 of the order. Drake Pearsall, Alex Verdon, Dylan Zulo next. As this one is fouled to the screen, Cohen Allred, Easton Hicks moving up from 9th to 8th in the order today, and Dowlett Ellison dropping from 8th to 9th in the order for the Silverwolves, and of course their starter, excuse me, is Carson, Moody, who's on first base on an 0-1 count. To the catcher, Caden Allred, he throws, does Hollenbach, and he's back in safely as Moody.
Alex, this matchup can be taken all the way back to the first game of the season. That's March 15th. Riverton knocked off American Fork 8-3 in the first game, and they haven't met since, and here they are in an elimination game in the playoffs.
And I was there at that game. I mean, it was a dominant performance by Jay Applegate's Silverwolves. I mean, they jumped on American Fork right from the jump and just never let go. Quick throw back to first as Carson Moody is back in there. Watts actually dropped the throw and couldn't get the tag down. Carson Moody, as I said, was plunked on the first pitch of the entire season for American Fork. And then came around to score that 2-run double by Drake Pearsall. Here's a bunt drop down in front of the plate. They'll go the short way to first for the force out, so the sacrifice works 1-3. And there's one out here in the top half of the first inning as the advance to the second.
Zach Edwards.
Excuse me, and up comes your Zach Edwards. Apologies, folks, if I sound a little bit nasally. I literally had to go move my car out of a questionable parking spot earlier, about 45 minutes ago, and I literally wind sprinted all the way there and back. And Ty can tell you, I've been trying to clear my throat like crazy over the last 45 minutes, and I apologize in advance for any noises you may hear in the background as well. As this is chopped by Edwards, right back to Gabe Hollenbach. Great stab, and throw over to first in time. Runner does not advance. And back-to-back outs with runners in scoring position now. And here comes the third baseman, Drake Pearsall.
Well, a couple good unassisted outs there for Gabe Hollenbach. He fielded the bunt really cleanly, threw over to first, and now he gets the ground out right back to him. And he gets the unassisted 2 outs here with the runner in scoring position and Carson Moody.
Drake Pearsall had that 2-run double in the opening inning on the 6th pitch of the game against Dax Watts back on March 15th. And he has his buddy Carson Moody in scoring position once again with 2 outs. And time was quickly called. Two out here, top half of the first inning. First pitch. Officially down to Drake Pearsall. Takes it up high for ball 1. Our umpiring crew today, Nate Newberry behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Rob Kroll over at first base covering second base down to the right field line. And Dylan Hampton covering second base down to the left field line today. Quick throw back to first. That's a close play, but Moody got there just in the nick of time. Good step off there from Gabe Hollenbach, who's turned into one of Jared Angersall's best pitchers this season, along with Dax Watts, who was the number 1.
He was trying to get 3 outs in his own hand right there, Alex. Not sure what you would call that as, but that's pretty impressive if you pitcher can manage to get all 3 outs by himself in the plays.
That one's cut on a miss, blew the fastball right by him.
I want to call it plays and not strikeouts. I feel like that's a very impressive feat.
Well, they technically are plays. They're not strikeouts unless they are technically.
Very true.
Look back at second by Hollenbach on the 1-1. This one is a base hit to left. Here comes Moody. He will score out of the throw. And just as it was on March 15th, Pearsall scores Moody. 1-0 Riverton.
Now hitting number 25, Alex Vernon.
Instead of a 2-run double this time, it's a RBI single for Drake Pearsall. And the Silverwolves deliver the first punch. Now here's Alex Vernon, the dangerous first baseman who takes a strike about letter high.
Well, who other to do it than Drake Pearsall, the team leader in RBIs. That's getting real close to his 30th on the year.
Alex Vernon, who had a crucial RBI double back on March 15th, cinches this one through the right side. Applegate throws up the stop sign. 3 hits in the first inning, all in the first 4 batters for the Riverton Silverwolves. And they are humming. You get the feeling from watching this first inning, we are watching March 15th all over again. That first inning where Riverton exploded for 3 runs on 6 hits before Cooper Hansen even came to the plate. And we already have movement in the American Fork bullpen as Jared Angersall has to be thinking to himself, not this movie again. That one misses the corner and low, ball 1. Runner on first, runner on second, 2 out. Already 1 run home on the RBI single by Drake Pearsall. Look back at second, and the pitch to Zulo. That one plunks him. And the bags are full of black shirts. And here comes Cohen Allred, the center fielder today. And a quick staff meeting on the mound here between Hollenbach and his defense. And Ty, I just said it. March 15th. This is how Riverton opened the scoring. And you got to be thinking, Jared Angersall's got to be thinking, we can't be doing this to ourselves again.
You think it's pretty reminiscent of that previous game that you were at, Alex? I mean, stakes, unfortunately, though, are at a different level as they were the first game of the season.
Again, there's already movement in the American Fork bullpen, and we're just on the 5th batter or 6th or 7th batter of the game. This one off the corner, and a called strike right at the knees.
It's been a fast 7 batters, too. This game even started, looks like 6 minutes ago, roughly, just around that time frame.
Court Taylor is one of the relievers up in the bullpen, a lefty for American Fork, as this one is chopped foul by Allred. Up the third base line, the other reliever in there for American Fork is number 33, Tyson Averett. Bags are full of Silverwolves, 2 strikes and 2 outs. 1 run already home on the RBI single by Drake Pearsall. Can Gabe Hollenbach get out of this jam and prevent any more damage? That's in the dirt, ball 1.
Well, Cohen went 0 of 3 in the game against Lehigh. I feel like this is a pretty similar situation, I guess, in the dire of the situation that you get in. And now he does it with bases loaded. Let's see if he can potentially add on to the scoring that Riverton's already done.
Did he go? Yes! Strike 3! And Gabe Hollenbach escapes further damage, but the Riverton Silverwolves do scratch across their first run of the game on the RBI single by Drake Pearsall. And Riverton already in front, 1-0 in this battle against old arch rival American Fork. Well, what fireworks we've already had to kick off this elimination game between 2 of the best teams in the state, American Fork and Riverton. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson here at the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at BYU. On this beautiful day here in Provo, Utah. Time to give you the starting lineups for American Fork, presented by the team that's committed to winning for you, the client, Eidemann and Associates. They'll start with CJ Mascaro, yesterday's starting pitcher in center field. He'll bat leadoff. Jet Walker, the shortstop, bats second. Cooper Jones, the second baseman, third. Dax Watts bats cleanup. He's fourth. Bats cleanup. He's at first base. Tayson Howard at third base. He bats fifth. Bodie Gagero is the DH. He bats sixth. Cash Polson is seventh. The catcher, Crew Angersall, left fielder, Crew Angersall is eighth. And Dax Greening is in right field. He will bat ninth. And they will all face Carson Moody, who relieved Cooper Hansen back on March 15th and had to fight through some late leg cramps in order to get the save.
Well, as you're going through that lineup, Alex, notice no changes, at least in the previous game.
And CJ Mascaro lays down an absolute beauty of a drop bunt. And so American Fork answers in kind.
Now hitting number 2, Jet Walker.
With a base hit of their own, as we give you the weather forecast here for the National Weather Service here at Provo. 70 degrees right now, southeast wind 4 miles per hour. Whatever breeze there is swirling in the stadium. but it's coming from right field to left field, and it will be unpredictable throughout the afternoon, we are assured. As Carson Moody pours in a strike right at the knees of the shortstop, Jet Walker. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Moody. That one is high and inside, ball 1.
Well, Jet also struggled in yesterday's game against Lehigh. A couple of strikeouts. He was 0 for 4, grounded out in a couple of field outs. Obviously, today's a different day. You wonder if that'll play a factor as it did yesterday.
Looked like Walker went. He did. Strike 2. And quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Jet Walker. American Fork against Riverton. Not the matchup anybody would have foreseen coming in an elimination game. 1-2 pitch. Got him. First strikeout of the day for Carson Moody, and here comes Cooper Jones, the second baseman. Runner on first following the bunt single by C.J. Mascaro. First pitch on the way, and Moody lets that one get away high and inside, ball 1.
Got the little grip on the outside. A little bit up towards the head. Infielders still playing deep. That's just been the story of this tournament.
Next pitch. That one is right down Main Street for a strike. Good fastball, that one from Carson Moody. One pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Way into center field. But Mascaro will not even attempt to run on that one. So maybe a little bit of nerves there from Caden Allred. That throw was way up there into center field. That one almost looked like it touched the top of the net here from where we were sitting. But Ty, it's what you expect. A lot of nerves here early on.
Playoff baseball. Gotta love it.
2-1 pitch. Lined towards second. And it hangs up just long enough for the second baseman to get over there. And the person of McCade Ortiz. And there is quickly 2 out now. As the first baseman, Dax Watts, steps to the plate. He who was the starter in that game on March 15th. Again, he didn't throw a strike till his 6th pitch of the game against Riverton in that opener. And by the time he had done so, Riverton was already up 3-0. On a 2-run double by Drake Pearsall and then a single by Dylan Zulo to score Pearsall from third as this pitch is inside on him, ball 1. And Ty, you can tell I know way too much about these two teams already.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a stacked lineup. I mean, we were expecting calling these teams later in the semifinal game.
Yeah, we were expecting to call these two teams in the semis yesterday in the second round. This one is chopped toward third and a foul ball as it hits the line. Watts got the win on Monday in that dominant win over American Fork, combined with Jet Walker for that one hitter over Syracuse. But the American Fork offense ran into a buzzsaw late in the Lehigh Pioneers, and that will go down as one of the all-time greatest games in Utah high school baseball history by far. This one is chopped to short on 2 hops, picked up by Edwards, throw it to first, and that ends the inning. So the leadoff man gets on for American Fork, but they can't bring the runner in from scoring position. We played 1 full inning. The Riverton Silverwolves lead 1-0 here on the Rewind Sports Network. Full afternoon here in Provo, Utah. Alexander Timop alongside my broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson. You get a look at the crowd there from the Cy and Betty Kimball broadcast booth here at Larry H. Miller Field. 1-0. Riverton leads here in the top half of inning number 2 as the Silverwolves will start to bat. And looks like we actually had a typo on the batting order. It's actually Dallin Ellison here to lead off instead of Easton Hicks. So as Ellis chops this one on the ground to short, Walker comes over, throw over to first. And 1 pitch, 1 gone here in the top half of the second inning. So 8-9-1 here to lead off the top half of the second for the Riverton Silverwolves, who are up 1-0 here in the top of the second.
Now plate number 5, Easton Hicks.
That'll bring up Easton Hicks, the soon-to-be Salta, Argentina missionary and Utah Tech football commit. And he takes a strike right over the inner half of the plate. Carson Moody stands on deck as the scorer of the only run so far. Here's the 0-1. This one is chopped this time towards second. On 2 hops, throw over to first. And quickly, there are 2 gone here in the top half of the second. Good time to remind you that any time a ball hits the roof at UCCU Ballpark or the tarp here at Larry H. Miller Field throughout the week, Ty and I will be digging up some random facts about the game of baseball through our Any Hour Services Random Roof Ringer.
Moody.
So keep your eyes on the ball going on the roof and listen for the sounds to see if we can dig up some random facts for you.
I don't know about dig up. I just need to search through my 80 million that I've already made.
Whether it's search through 80 million or dig up notes, I mean, it's the exact same thing. Because you got to remember, Ty, I grew up in a different generation than you.
Yeah, very true.
My parents and my generation, we grew up when the internet was just born. This one is picked up on the knees for a strike. Good pitch from Hollenbach. 0-2 pitch. Down low in the dirt. Moody 1 for 1 today with the single and scored. 1-2 pitch. Goodbye. Gabe Hollenbach with his second strikeout of the day. We go now to the bottom of inning number 2 here in this elimination game. It remains 1-0 Riverton. American Fork looking to get something going. Look there at Wide Mountain here at the campus of Brigham Young University. Alexander Tumulip alongside Ty Wilkinson here at the Cy and Betty Kimmel press box at Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Tumulip here with you with Ty Wilkinson. Ty, as expected, Riverton and American Fork putting their best out here early on. Just like last night's game between Lehigh and American Fork, you can tell this game just feels different.
Right, it definitely does. And we mentioned that too during the Lehigh game. Like this series with Lehigh Riverton, American Fork Riverton, and now American Fork Riverton has just been an amazing, I guess, trifecta between these teams to be watching. And because of that, now it turns into an elimination game for a couple of the top seeds in the tournament. I mean, you just can't believe watching these two teams in an elimination game, but I'm all for it because you know what that means. It means both teams are going to be playing at their highest level.
I mean, and we touched on it yesterday. I mean, these are the 2 teams that have won the last 5 state championships. American Forks won 3 of the last 4. Riverton was the only one that stopped that streak in 2022, as this is grounded to first. Vernon has some trouble picking it up, but able to gather it and run it over himself. 3 unassisted for the out. There's one gone.
Well, there's one of the best first basemen over there. He read that ball a little bit perfectly. Hobbled it a little bit into the glove, but good to come away and get that first out. And I do wonder if Carson Moody is feeling a little comfortable now that he has a very outstanding defense out there.
First pitch on the way to the DH, Bodie Gagero, the 6th man in the order, misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. That one is a called strike right at the knees. Good pitch. And Carson Moody was telling me back in March how American Fork beating Riverton last year added some fuel to the fire. And it gave them an opportunity to get back in this position. They want to get through American Fork because they know how good they are. Kind of just tells you how bitter these two teams' rivalry really is, as this one is swung on and foul tipped straight back to the backstop by Gagero. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom half of inning number 2. 1-0 American Fork trails. 1-2 pitch. Goodbye. Caught you staring. So Gagero gets made a peeping Tom and gets sent straight back to the dugout, to the principal's office, and now up steps the catcher, Cash Polson.
Well, second of the day. And he managed to get a pretty good one. Carson Moody, a little off speed. As like you said, he caught him staring.
Chopper foul over to the American Fort dugout. First pitch to Cash Polson.
I mean, Carson during the regular season, I mean, he kind of struggled a little bit. 2 for 3 during the season with a 4.74 ERA on 9 appearances, but you got to think Coach Madsen trusts him in this position if he's having them up against the American Fort Cavemen.
Well, the other thing is Coach Applegate was telling me back on March 15, Cooper Hansen has been the #1 for Riverton for so many years, but Carson Moody really has come into his own. 0-2 pitch is flown in the air to right, waiting on it, and making the squeeze is Dylan Zulo, and that ends the inning. Carson Moody sets down the American Fort Cavemen, Ekahi Elua Aloha, in the bottom of the second inning. We head to the top of the third. Riverton still up 1-0 here on the Rewind Sports Network. Welcome back to Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of BYU. This is a good time to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs continues today. Not just tomorrow, but today. Corner Canyon and Mountain Ridge, an all-Region 2 semifinal showdown. Find out if Mountain Ridge will force an extra game or if the Corner Canyon Chargers' Cinderella run will continue into the 6A Championship Series. That will all be determined coming up next here on the Rewind Sports Network. And what a day we are going to have. If there are extra games necessary, there will be a double elimination chance game tomorrow between the same 2 teams in the semifinals. Alexander Timup and Ty Wilkinson back here at the Kimball Press Box on the Larry H. Miller Field. And Ty, I mean, this has just been an incredible tournament to watch because it just has been so unpredictable on both ends of the field.
Well, it's just incredible because now we're watching the #1 seed play against the 4 seed. So not only is it a great baseball game, but a great for elimination game. Like, this is something you would only wonder would happen in the semifinals, which just gives the opportunity for the lower seeds to kind of settle in and watch on.
First pitch from Gabe Hollenbach is hit in the air, left field.
Watch out, University.
Oh my goodness, look out. Some serious trouble down there in left. Yikes. We touched on it the first game. There's a lot of graduations going on today, and whoever's car was passing by, I hope they saw that, because that is a that's almost like a bombing run coming in right at you. That's got to be a little bit unnerving. 1-1 pitch. That almost
clipped him.
Hit him. It did hit him. Umpire Nate Newberry said it did clip Caden Allred, so once again, runner on first.
Well, that's also the second hit by pitch that Gabe Hollenbach has dealt to this lineup so far.
And here comes Zach Edwards. Oregon State commit. Was a starter on the varsity basketball team and the football team. A 3-sport athlete, scholar athlete as well. Very dangerous hitter. Quick throw back to first, and Watts trapped the throw on the ground and was not able to get a tag down.
Unfortunately, didn't have his best pitching performance in that game against Lehigh, but he did have an outstanding hitting opportunity. He faces the 0-0 count against Hollenbach.
This one down low and outside, ball 1. 1 run, 3 hits on the ledger so far for Riverton. The 3 hits came in the first 4 batters as Drake Pearsall with an RBI single to drive in Carson Moody. Made it 1-0 in the top of the first. This one is tapped weakly on the ground. Howard will go the short way to second for first, I should say, for the 5-3 fielder's choice. That'll advance the runner to second, and there's one gone. Almost goes down as a de facto sacrifice, if you will, moving Allred into scoring position, and now up steps Drake Pearsall, the third baseman.
He had an RBI single in the first inning. And now you got a speedy guy out there, Caden Allred. Let's see if he can knock in another one for a second of the afternoon.
Here comes the pitch. This one is lifted foul off to the right. And that one is going into the road behind Helaman Halls. 1 strike. And time called as Hollenbach having a stare down over there with Caden Allred. Oh, 1 the count with 1 out. And the pitch coming from Hollenbach as he's continuing to stare down Caden Allred over there at second. And Nate Newberry almost had to do the danger dance right there as Cash Bolson probably saved his teeth.
I don't want to take his head off by any means.
I mean, Newberry, poor Nate Newberry, the home plate umpire, almost had to duck out of the way. 1-1. High fly ball, deep left center field, to the wall, off the base of the fence. Applegate will put the stop sign on the runner at third. Drake Pearsall with an RBI single, now a double. As that sucker just fell short of the wall, hit right off the bottom of the New Skin logo out there near the 380 sign in dead left center.
And Caden Allred, he could have kept running, but that ball was hit a mile and it was in the air for a long time. So in case he had caught in it, he was caught in between base paths and he didn't know if he had to tag up and go. That's why he's over there at third right now, Alex.
So here comes Alex Vernon now to the plate. Talk about power. This guy can bring it to any part of the field. First pitch. High fly ball, center field. That should be plenty deep to score. Allred will tag. He will score. It is 2-0 Riverton.
At the plate, number 6, Dylan Zulo.
So here comes Dylan Zulo now to the plate. So through 3 innings, Ty, Drake Pearsall 2 for 2. He needs a triple and a home run to complete the cycle.
Think he can do it?
Well, he almost got picked off right there at second base. He was way off the bag. Jay Applegate giving him the death stare over at second base. As he normally does. So when his players make a untimely error, an unfortunate one. 2 out. Runner on second. Here's the pitch. This one is rocketed back up the middle and through. That's going to score Pearsall from second. Another run is on the board, and the Silverwolves have come out swinging here in this elimination game.
At the plate, number 19, Cohen Allred.
And here comes the pitching coach out of the dugout for American Fork. Again, we already have movement up in the bullpen. Lefty Court Taylor is up there in the bullpen. And it looks like, from what we're seeing, Jared Ingersoll is walking over to the bullpen. Right now. And it appears that they're not going to make a move for Court Taylor quite just yet, though he is standing by and waiting. So Gabe Hollenbach will remain in for now in a 3-0 game.
Well, you talk about a comeback inning offensively. Riverton went up, three down. From the bottom to the top of the lineup, ending with Carson Moody. And then coming into this third inning, lots of scoring opportunities and lots of base hits off the deals from Hollenbach.
Bunt shown. Allred pulls it back, but takes a strike anyway. I will say, though, the record for most hits in a game, as that one is outside, ball one, was 7, was on May 18, 2006, in a playoff game between Snow Canyon and, Dusty's not going to like this, Emory. And it was hit by, not that David Justice, but Dave Justice, as that one is singed into left field for a base hit. Zulo will stop at second. Cohen Allred reaches. And now Jared Ingersoll and will send his pitching coach out there, and I think that's going to be it for Gabe Hollenbach. And it is. Gabe Hollenbach is done after just 2 2/3 innings. Court Taylor comes in to try to clean up the mess. The Riverton Silverwolves making a repeat script of their first meeting in March. Back after this. Well, Court Taylor now has this game in his hands now after Gabe Hollenbach is chased after just 2 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits. Alexander Timup alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson, here at Larry H. Miller Field, coming to you from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here on the campus of BYU. And Ty, let me tell you, I mean, this Riverton team, they came out swinging in their first meeting against American Fork back on March 15th. It looks like the exact same script they are following right now here in this first couple of innings.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, too, if we get a very repetitive score, at least of that first game that we've played. We know American's Fork offense is dangerous, but, I mean, the fact that these two teams are meeting for the first time since that time frame, I mean, I guess Riverton must have woke up, because that forced American Fork to bring in the lefty around 3.5 innings in.
Dallin Ellison.
So Dallin Ellison now comes to the plate. This will be the second time in about an inning he's batted, with Easton Hicks, the left fielder, standing on deck.
Well, he's a heavy hitter, too. I know he bats 8th. That is a big boy down there who plays football and a recent Salt Lake City Community College commit to play for their baseball program.
2 out, runner on first and second, and the pitch is left up high there around the eyes by Court Taylor, ball 1. More movement in the American Fork bullpen, too, as we speak. Another righty and another lefty now warming up in the bullpen. Tyson Averett, who was warming up in there earlier, is now back up warming again. And Talon Willardson is now up there as well, stretching. As Taylor cannot find the corner on this one, high and away, 2-0. 3-0 Riverton. It all started with an RBI single by Drake Pearsall, and then a double by Pearsall, and then a sacrifice fly by Vernon, and then another RBI single, as this time it's a high strike called against Ellison. 2-1.
Well, he's just trying to clean up what, unfortunately, Gabe Hollenbach could not finish. Fortunately, he does have 2 outs, but the only issue with that is now he's got a runner in scoring position on the other side, and facing against the heavy hitter of Dallin Ellison.
2-1 pitch on the way. That's outside, 3-1. And now Court Taylor is a pitch away from loading the bases for the second consecutive inning. The 3-1 pitch. Grounder to right. Good spear there by the second baseman. Throw over to first in time. And that concludes matters here in the top of the third inning, but Riverton scratches across 2 more runs in the inning, and they lead 2 on. We head now to the bottom of the third inning. American Fork, the defending champs, down 3-0 to Riverton. Back here on the campus of Brigham Young University as you get a look at the beautiful Wasatch Front here on a 70-degree day here in Provo, Utah. Alexander Timup alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson. 3-0, bottom of the third inning. Riverton leads American Fork, and you have to say, Ty, it is well-deserved so far for the start Riverton has had.
It definitely is, especially not only just in the defensive perspective with the pitching courtesy of Carson Moody, but also the offensive perspective. I mean, that third inning, Drake Pearsall, Alex Vernon, Dylan Zulo, I mean, that says it all. It's the heart of the lineup that really kind of just put a dent right now, and the reason why the score is the way it is, 3-0 in favor of Riverton. But I must say, do not count out American Fork and their offense. Once they get a spark, they can usually get going.
8-9-1 to lead off against Carson Moody here in the bottom half of inning number 3 as that pitch to Crew Angersall is inside for ball 1.
I mentioned this earlier in the game that American Fork played, Alex, that the first 2 innings were crucial to American Fork's success. And the reason that they had so many runs, 71 runs based off of the opponents that they faced in those first 2 innings out of their 212 they've scored in the regular season.
Grounded up the middle, and a good spear by the shortstop Edwards, but it pops right out of his glove, and he's not able to make a throw over to first. I believe that's going to go down as a base hit. It will. And so American Fork, as you said, Ty, gets the first runner on base now with nobody out. As up steps Dax Greeny now, the right fielder.
Well, that's some hot turf out there and difficult to deal with that the sun kind of bakes on it too in that infield.
Good off-speed pitch for a strike there from Moody. Dropped it right into the knees. Keeping tabs on the runner at first base is Vernon. Pitch by Moody, and that's high and away for ball 1.
Well, if you can survive the day game, then you get the night one against Lehigh, who's also played 2, about to be 3 games tonight at the exact same time, 7 p.m. So I guess Lehigh, you could say, embraces the night. We'll see how tonight goes.
Time called. Bringing up that vampire Cougars conspiracy, given the fact we're on the campus. 1-1 pitch. And that's outside. 2 balls and a strike.
It's the first couple of times that Carson Moody has fell behind in the count to start this third.
2-1 the count. CJ Mascaro, the center fielder, is up next in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. No runs, just 2 base hits for American Fork so far as Jared Angersall motioning over to the runner at first, Angersall, to get back to the base. Now takes his lead. And Moody's ready. 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the count goes full.
A little second outside pitch that he's thrown in this at-bat, too. And this is a big, crucial at-bat because he doesn't want to get a runner in scoring position if it so be a walk.
3-2 pitch. Fouled off to the left, and look out, University Parkway. 7th pitch of the AB coming up here for the right fielder, Dax Greening.
Can't lose him here.
3-2. And he does. Ball 4. First walk issued by Carson Moody, and there's runners on first and second now with nobody out.
Well, that's crucial. Because up comes the lefty. And not just the lefty, now it's the top of the lineup.
And here comes CJ Mascaro now to the plate. to face Carson Moody. Runner in scoring position at second with an additional runner on first and nobody out. American Fork trying to put a dent in this deficit as Moody will step off.
Well, this is definitely the guy you want in the at-bat, too. He's already got a single so far. 1 for 1. And his leadoff hit.
Here comes the pitch. And leaves it outside, ball 1. And here comes Caden Allred to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher. We already know one semifinal that will be played. Corner Canyon will face off against Mountain Ridge later on. That's coming up next, as we said. Winner of this game will face the Lehigh Pioneers later tonight. One-oh pitch. That one is inside. Has a good block there. Did he go? Caden Allred just checking over to make sure that he didn't go, and he didn't. And here comes Allred again, and this time the whole staff is going to come over and have a chat. And here comes Jay Applegate, in fact, from the Riverton dugout.
I think it's a good mound visit, Alex. Carson Moody's thrown a couple of four seams on the outside, as you can tell. Well, I guess shout out right now to Caden Allred, who's been able to track them down and not let anything go to the backstop and keep the runners where they are right now. So I think they're trying to get them more calm and collected and bring the accuracy more in. Try to get pitches more inside of the strike zone and see if you can get some takes on this American Fork team. And you also saw in that shot that Josh Dodge just put up on your screen there for the viewers, Jared Angersall also had a staff meeting with his runners and batter, CJ Mascaro. So the chess match continues between these two 20-year-plus coaches. Jared Angersall, year 22. Jay Applegate, year 25. 2-0 pitch. That's a good strike right there. Good, crisp fastball right on the bottom half of the zone. Two-one pitch. High fly ball in the air to right. Zulo ranges over and will make the squeeze. Runner will tag and go to third. And he will dive in there safely. Will crew Ingersoll, and there is now one away on the sacrifice fly by CJ Mascaro. Good time to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA baseball playoffs are continuing this week, and they're presented by Heidemann and Associates. Proud to be the team assembled to win for you, the client. Call them today at 801-754-4240. Or contact them online at utah.law to schedule your free consultation with them, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. Well, you wonder if Jared Ingersoll is in a position to send Dax Greening over to second to prevent the double play. But just keep in mind, Allred has a pop time very similar. As you can see, he tried to get up. He's got a pop time very similar, if not greater, than the average of the Major League Baseball catcher.
Yeah, you pointed it out yesterday, Ty. He has a pop time of just under 2.03. The average Major League Baseball timer is 2.13. This one is hit toward the hole. That's a base hit. One run will score. Stop sign is thrown up. And on the RBI single by Jet Walker, American Fork breaks through.
At plate number 8, Cooper Jones.
And that's a big run there for American Fork to get back into this ball game, Ty. And it comes from their shortstop, Jet Walker. As now here comes Cooper Jones, the second baseman, to the plate. 0-1 pitch. Picked up off the rug. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes. Still 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning. 1 run already home on 1 base hit here for the Cavemen. 1-0 pitch. Liner into left. That's a base hit. Runner will be waved home. The throw. Cut off of the line. 3-2.
At plate number 25, Dax Watts.
Dax Watts steps up to the plate. And quickly, 2 runs on 2 base hits for American Fork on back-to-back hitters. And it makes it a 3-2 game here in the bottom of inning number 3. Tying run in scoring position, by the way, at second. This one is down low on the rug again, picked up off the carpet, ball 1.
Carson Moody needs to get a better grip on his pitches right now. His four-seam looks like it's kind of getting away from him. Fortunately, the slider has kind of been working out for him, but unfortunately, American Fork has put that ball in play.
1-0 pitch. That one misses inside, 2-0.
And you can tell his pitches are starting to get a little bit away from him.
And there's an arm moving in the bullpen now. A left-hander for the Riverton Silverwolves. It's McKay Linford, the left-hander, that's in the bullpen right now. 2-0 pitch coming, and Allred. Allred showing some frustration here. That's not something you see very often from him.
Yep. Moody just needs to take a breather. He's playing it a little bit too fast. They're disagreeing on pitches right now to deal American Fork. There's back-to-back step-offs there for Moody.
Here comes Jay Applegate now. I think he's seen enough. And they are going to move for the left-hander, McKay Linford. So Jay Applegate is going to pull Carson Moody after just 3 1/3. McKay Linford now gets to pick up the pieces. It's a battle of the bullpens now here at Larry Miller Field. In this elimination game, things just got way more interesting here in Provo. Well, McKay Linford now gets to pick up the pieces of what Carson Moody is left over here for the Riverton Silverwolves. Both starters go just 3 2/3 and 3 1/3 innings, respectively, as the American Fork Cavemen are threatening to tie this game here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. They trailed 3-2 after trailing 3-0 in the first part of this game. Ty Wilkinson joining me, Alexander Timlip, here in the booth. And Ty, I turn to you, and we knew this was going to be a battle, and now you're just starting to see. I mean, you called it, American Fork. It was only going to take 1 base hit for them to get started, and now here we are in a 3-2 game.
Well, it's the winds of change, Alex. I'll do a little song reference for you, as the winds definitely have shifted, but not only just have the winds shifted, so has the defensive perspective now for both Riverton and American Fork, because now it's just going to be a bullpen battle from here on out.
Dax Watts returns to the plate now on a 2-0 count. McKay Linford already behind the 8 ball in the count as he tries to just pick up the pieces of what's been happening. Quick throw back to second, and back in safely is Jet Walker. Cooper Jones at second base. Walker at second in scoring position. 3-2 Riverton. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the first actual pitch thrown by McKay Linford is a swinging strike on a changeup.
Well, that's the first pitch that Dax Watts, I feel like, has seen in a long time, just because of all the 3 combined pickoff attempts for the pitchers. And now he takes a strike, a 2-1 count.
And another step off the mound here.
He's dealt with 4 in his at-bat.
2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike now.
You wonder if he'll swing on a hitter's count right here, Alex. Or if he wants to take in the effort to load the bases.
3-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen, and so the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He's shaking his head a little bit at that one, too, because that was a little bit outside.
It's one of those classic might have swung at ball 4 kind of deals. Full count payoff on the way. Got him! And there are 2 gone now in the inning. Big strikeout there from McKay Linford. And up steps Taysom Howard, left on left matchup, and you think this is probably why Applegate brought in Linford in the first place, to face the lefty after the righty Dax Watts. Two runs already home, bottom of the third. 3-2 Riverton. And what seems to be another Riverton American 4 classic brewing here at Miller Field. First pitch hits Taysom Howard. And the bags are loaded with
Now
2 out. And here comes Bodie Gagero, another lefty. Cash Polson will follow the righty. So McKay Linford here, there you see the picture put up by Josh Dodge, is surrounded. Will he surrender? Or will he stand tall? First pitch on the way. And that one looked like it hit the... That one hit the hitter, or did it?
They're saying he leaned
No,
into it.
they said he leaned into it, and I believe that means he's out. It's a foul ball or he's out. And here comes Jared Ingersoll down the line to talk with Nate Newberry. First base coach isn't arguing, so Ingersoll just wants to get an explanation from home plate umpire Nate Newberry here.
Well, neither side likes the call. I think the call should be, yeah, I think he definitely did lean into it.
So if he leans into it, that is a foul ball. So 1 strike the count now. So 1 strike the count now on Bodie Gagero. Now we're having a bit of a confusion here between what the count actually is.
Everyone's saying it's a foul ball because right now the score...
Yeah, because I think everybody's just... I think we're all confused right now because the Nate Newberry put up the signal like he was gonna... He called a foul ball, so it's a strike, but then he put up a finger and a 0 like he was calling 1 ball, no strikes, and now Applegate's all confused. Like we are up here in the booth. I think everybody's just confused here.
Well, let's assess the situation.
Whatever the count is, it's still bases loaded.
Right.
Let's just put it that way. It doesn't matter what the count is.
Well, the way it should go is now it's going to be a strike, hopefully. Unless I guess it's not. It's not already been assessed.
Nate Newberry's going to put up the hands here in a couple of more pitches, so we'll know for sure if it is or not. As this one is down low. What I assume is ball 1. But Nate Newberry, again, not going to put up the fingers just quite yet.
Shout out to Caden Allred right there. The catcher making the huge stop. A potential game-tying stop, too.
Here's the pitch. He didn't go, but it was on the outside corner anyway.
So the count right now says 2-1, Alex.
Count on the scoreboard says 2-1. So, okay, so now we get this confirmation. It is 2-1. And this one is grounded to second. On 2 hops in the hole. Throw to first. In time. That's the end of the inning. And Jay Applegate comes out of the mound with a fist pump and a roar as well as he should. The American 4 Cavemen get 2 across, but they leave the bases loaded. We go to the top of the 4th. 4-2. Top of the 4th. 3-2. Riverton. Well, what a game we've already had. 3-2 here in favor of Riverton here as we go to the top half of inning number 4. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson here at Larry H. Miller Field. Ty, what fireworks we've already had.
To say the least. I mean, again, an amazing opportunity there for the American Fork Cavemen to try to at least bridge the gap and, you know, tie the game up. And what had already started as a 2-run inning could have actually led a much worse scenario for Riverton. But they still play ahead by 1 run, and that's an impressive in and of itself.
And just think about it too, Ty. We've been talking about this the last couple of days. The American Fork offense has really been struggling. They stranded over 10 runners in Monday's win over Syracuse. Last night against Lehigh, they stranded close to 10 runners again, and here they strand with the bases loaded.
And that's going to be the driving factor of how this game is going to turn out for either or team. Because as we mentioned, we saw American Fork strand plenty in the Syracuse game. That was around 2 days ago. It feels like forever ago, but it was only 2 days ago that they only had scored 3 runs against the 8 seed as the 1. So I think their offensive perspective has just been lacking a little bit, and now they're just solely relying on their defensive strategies, it feels like right now.
9-1-2 to lead off the top half of the 4th inning here for the Riverton Silverwolves. Easton Hicks followed by Carson Moody and Caden Allred. First pitch on the way to Easton Hicks is right down the heart of the plate from Court Taylor for a strike. Lefty on righty matchup. 0-1 pitch. Line to the right side and foul. 2 strikes. Winner plays the Lehigh Pioneers later today. Loser season is over. Graphics should tell you all at home pretty clearly what the scenario is. It's win or go home. 0-2 pitch. That one just misses the high inside corner. One-two. That one again misses. This one was a little bit high there. 2 balls and 2 strikes, high and outside. Two-two. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Easton Hicks. Good job by the left fielder working the count here. The man they call Hicksy. 3-2. Liner into center field. That's a base hit. It'll drop in front of Mascaro. And Easton Hicks is aboard with a leadoff single to begin proceedings here in the 4th.
At the plate, number 27, Carson Moody.
As Carson Moody now comes up to the plate, the starter, who went 3 1/3 innings, was pulled from McKay Linford, and then Linford got Riverton out of that monster bases loaded jam in the bottom of the 3rd, what it easily could have been a bigger inning for American Fork. First pitch to Moody is chopped foul up the line.
The American Fork defense in the outfield, I think, is the furthest that I've seen them play. You see Mascaro all the way out there. He's even past the Y out there in center field, Alex.
Yeah, he's just on the top of the Y right now, cheating back inside the top of the Y now as this is lined to right, and that is caught by Dax Watson first. They're going to double up the runner. 3 unassisted double play. And just like that, there are 2 gone on the twin killing. As Caden Allred now comes up to the plate. That thing was absolutely smoked. But Watts with a great catch over there at first base to prevent a base hit. What surely would have been extra bases as Allred singes this one into right center field for a base hit. Aggressive turn at first. He'll back his way to the bag. And it's a 2-out single, the 8th hit of the game for the Riverton Silverwolves, as It looks like we're going to have a pinch runner thrown out there as Talon Bruce now goes out there. As
Running for 14, Talon Bruce.
Jay Applegate communicates that, to home plate umpire Nate Newberry.
And I suppose that gives rhyme of reason why American Fork's outfield is pretty much, it feels like almost to the wall. I mean, if you look at left field.
This one is grounded to short on 2 hops to go the short way for the force. That quickly ends the inning. So they get 2 runners on base, but are unable to advance them any further. We head now to the bottom half of inning number 4. It remains 3-2 Riverton.
Don't forget to visit shirtstop.com to pick up your state hoodies.
Well, the parade of graduates continues. This time it's Mountain Ridge that's celebrating their graduation now over at the Marriott Center. Alexander Tim up alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson, as we are here on the campus of BYU. Of course, should point out that the American Fork graduation was earlier today, and as expected, there are a lot of American Fork fans here, even though it's a 1 o'clock game.
And I mean, why not? Just head over to a baseball game right across from the Marriott Center after you watch your kid graduate. It's all good vibes here, and I mean, the weather's absolutely perfect to do so. I mean, what better day could you ask for baseball like the one we're gifted today? Started out as overcast, and now it's pretty much a clear bluebird sky day.
Current temperature down at the Provo Municipal Airport, 72 degrees. North wind at 3 miles per hour. Whatever wind there is coming from behind us out towards left field. It's a far cry from where you are down, from where you were born down in Texas, Ty. It's currently supposed to be dangerously hot through the rest of the week.
Not exactly surprising. It's true. The old Texas roots, but people will tell you there's a difference between a dry heat and humid heat.
That's what Texas has.
Yeah. Well, I beg to differ. I say hot is hot, no matter if it's humidity or, you know, not with the humid.
I stand corrected. It's not Mountain Ridge. I'm sorry. It's Lone Peak that's doing graduations over there. And now you see some of the Westlake blue cap and gowns walking up as we have some technical issues down near the first base line as Caden Allred, the catcher, tries to get his pitch comm straightened out. There you go. Josh Dodge giving a good look at the handiwork going on required on Caden Allred right now.
Well, he's a part-time handyman, wouldn't you say, Alex?
There we go. Now it's straightened out. Now he's walking out. Remember, we did have some issues with the pitch comms on Monday in the first game because of the rain. So much so they had to call the UHSAA office to determine if they could fix it in time or not. And they said if it doesn't fix itself, well, you're going to have to go old-fashioned hand signals. Thankfully, I don't think they had to do that on Monday as McKay Lidford misses down and in ball 1. Bottom half of inning number 4 here. Next pitch, that one is picked up off the carpet. And that would have been low anyway, 2 balls and no strikes. Seven, 8, 9, the batters to come up here in the bottom of the 4th for AF. 2-0 pitch. Liner into left, base hit. And that's gonna put on Polson, the leadoff runner, at first base.
At the plate, number 6, Crew Ingersoll.
And up steps Crew Ingersoll, and out comes Isaac Murdoch, the pinch runner at first.
Running for the Cavemen, number 40, Isaac Murdoch.
And Crew Ingersoll now representing the go-ahead run now at the plate. I know it's only the 4th inning, Ty, but the way this game's going, go-ahead runs, or any kind of runs at this point, are going to be huge against the way these defenses are playing.
Definitely for either team, too.
First pitch on the way. Ingersoll shows bunt, check throw back to first. And they just missed the tag over there. Murdoch just got in ahead of the throw.
Yeah, you know who it was? It was Caden Allred who saw Murdoch over there. He was trying to give a little stutter step in order to steal.
Pitch coming from Linford is a high ball. 2 balls and no strikes now. So Linford Having some trouble tracking his zone here.
Well, it's a big job over there for Caden Allred right behind the plate to prevent the base runner from advancing into scoring position right now, as it's still a one-run game.
2-0 pitch. That one catches the corner, but it misses low. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes now to the left fielder, Crew Angersol. The lefty, Dax Greening, the right fielder, stands on deck for AF. .3-0 pitch. Down low in the dirt. Ball 4. And here comes the captain, Zach Edwards, to have a chat.
That's plate number 3, Dax Green.
Notice how many captains for the team, at least as we've seen in this tournament, come to talk to their pitcher. They're usually at the shortstop position.
So it goes with Zach Edwards, so it goes with Jet Walker for American Fork.
It's a big captain role you have to fill, too, for your pitcher.
Linford will step off briefly. As now Dax Greening and Jared Angersol going to have a chat down here on the third base side.
Well, you almost wonder what's going through Ingersoll's head. I mean, a 22-year veteran head coach again in his 22nd season. Many state championships under his belt.
Well, let's not forget the guy before him doing all this was one Kim Nelson over at Timpanogos. He who has been the only coach since Timpanogos' inception as a baseball program. He also won 2 state championships at American Fork before taking over at Timpanogos, and he's been there ever since. So this is a continuation, really, of that lineage.
Look how far Alex Vernon's going to creep in here.
Boy, he was really creeping out. And now they got the runner on a run down. Throw to short. Throw to third. Now somebody's got to get him. Now they finally do. And so they catch the runner on a run down. I'm not even going to attempt to try and score that because there were so many throws back and forth.
Right.
And Jared Angersol is currently giving Isaac Murdoch an earful as he heads back to the dugout. That's got to be a lonely walk for that kid. So 1 out now here in the bottom of the 4th. And again, Ty, another unfortunate error at another untimely place for the American Fork Cavemen, as has probably been the story of this whole tournament for them so far.
Well, there is still good news for American Fork, as you have a runner in scoring position. So the game-tying run is over at second base with 1 out.
Got to be aware of the hot corner at third, though. Third baseman Drake Pearsall shading that way toward the line.
Dax Greening's got that big gap.
And Greening's not even going to try to swing at that pitch. Ball 1.
Well, he's been offered. You see that gap right there between third and second. And the gloves of good old Zach Edwards and Drake Pearsall.
2-1 pitch. High pop-up, and that's probably going out of the tarp.
Not quite.
I think it might have actually landed. I think it might have actually landed in the...
I saw it landed right over here, right in the stands, and there's the ball.
Yeah, so it just missed the tarp over there. So no random roof ringer presented by Any Hour Services, unfortunately.
Still haven't had one yet.
We still haven't had one, at least for today. At least in this game, not yet. But we did have a couple in the last game. 1-2 pitch. Goodbye. And just like that, there are 2 gone. And here comes the left-handed hitting center fielder CJ Mascaro. Tying run is on second base with 2 out, and Josh Dodge has pointed out to me, and I see it now, that there is a right-hander warming up in the Riverton bullpen. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors are the scores. And you would have thought that this game would have been so much more offensive. But alas, it is not. This one is lined to third and caught by Drake Pearsall. And once again, Riverton gets out of the jam. They bring a runner to scoring position, but McKay Linford strands him. We go now to the top of inning number 5. It remains 3-2 Riverton. Well, beautiful day here as you take a look at the Wasatch Mountain Range out towards Payson and Spanish Fork. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here at the Larry H. Miller Field. And Ty, I gotta tell you, we have seen some outstanding defense by both teams here today.
Agreed. American Fork and Riverton both with outstanding pitching. The bullpen has showed out, to say the least, so far, Alex. I know both head coaches were worried about their starters, Hollenbach as well as Carson Moody, both going out at roughly the exact same inning, which is around 3.5, right around that time frame. But still, the bullpen story, it's Court Taylor and McKay Linford that has kind of just made this game, I guess, the way it is. Putting up zeros in the 4th inning was just clutch as we head to the 5th.
So now here comes Drake Pearsall. He is 2 for 2, I believe, today. Ty, correct me if I'm wrong. He has an RBI single and a double.
You are correct. He had an RBI in the 1st. He did not have an RBI with his double, though.
Yeah, that, by the way, that double fell just short of the 380 marker out there in left center field. Almost hit off the New Skin logo out there. This one is chopped foul.
Well, and the only reason this isn't a 4-2 game is because it was hit so far that Caden Allred couldn't judge if the ball was going to be caught or not, or if he needed to tag.
That's true, yeah. It made Allred stop in between the baseline because he didn't know if he was going to have to stop or not. As this one is ripped into center field for a base hit. 3 for 3 is Drake Pearsall now in this game. 2 singles and now a double. And once again, the leadoff runner on for Riverton, and here comes Alex Vernon. The 9th hit of the ball game against American Fork's pitching staff. But then again, it's Riverton. Ty.
Very true.
We expected that. Here's the first pitch. This one is ripped in the air to right center field, going back toward the gap. That's going to be big-time kimchi! Pearsall rounding third. He will score! An RBI double! Vernon comes through! It's 4-2! And here comes the pitching coach for American Fork out of the dugout. And that is going to be all for Court Taylor. Back-to-back hits. A single by Pearsall. RBI double by Alex Vernon. The Riverton Silverwolves have restored their 2-run lead. And a pitching change is coming. Well, you don't think the Riverton fans are having fun right now? It is a purple party over on that side of the field as we bring you back inside Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University. Alexander Timolip alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson. And Ty, back-to-back hits on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, it's the heart of the lineup right now, Alex, that has not only all the RBIs. Drake Pearsall, he had one in the 1st. Alex Vernon, he had the sack RBI in the 3rd. And now he just gets his RBI in the 2nd. And then up comes now Dylan Zulo, who also had an RBI in the 3rd. So it's really just the heart of the lineup right now that's doing the damage more than anything. And how about Drake Pearsall? 3 for 3 so far on the afternoon. And he's having himself a day.
And now this brings up Tyson Aver at the right-hander. To the pitcher's mound, the 3rd pitcher of the day already through 4+ innings for the American Fork Cavemen, who took that sucker punch early from the Silverwolves but were staggered. They answered back, but now Ty, it is the Silverwolves who have answered with the next big jab to the face. As a pinch runner goes out now, it is Coleman Garn out at second base. As Dylan Zulo now steps into the bag. Drake Pearsall 3 for 3. Alex Vernon 2 for 3 today. Can Dylan Zulo keep it going? Ball 1. And this is a big sequence here for American Fork's pitching staff. Time.
It's the reliever battle right now. You can see two arms that are still warming up in the bullpen for American Fork, so this job is far from done right now.
Man standing on deck is the center fielder, Cohen Allred.
They're going all righty matchups too, as you see in the bullpen, Alex.
Averett will step off the mound, and you're right, Ty, looking over to the bullpen. There are two righties now in the AF bullpen. Coleman Garn on second, pinch running for Alex Vernon following his RBI double. Preceded by the leadoff single by Drake Pearsall, his third hit of the afternoon. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third. Good snag by Howard. Had a look at the runner. Now throws to first for the short way throw. Almost acts as a sacrifice. Runner advances to third. And there's one out. And up steps Allred.
It's crazy to me, though. There's just one out in this entire inning right now. It feels like there would be more, but Riverton has kind of just blown through. Like I said, it's the heart of the lineup right now.
And get a look at the bullpen up there, Josh Dodge, for the viewers at home. The job far from done here for Tyson Averett. That's a good pitch. Good strike right at the knees on Cohen Allred. No balls and a strike on Allred. One run already home. Infield playing way in here. This one is hitting the air, deep to left, and that's dropping fast, and it is caught. Meanwhile, tagging and scoring is Coleman Garn. It is 5-2 Riverton. And now some confusion as they thought that the runner didn't tag the bag, but home plate umpire Nate Newberry says, I don't know what you're looking at because he clearly did.
Playing for 3, Calvin Ellison.
So a little gamesmanship there by American Fork, perhaps. As Jared Angersall's still on the top step of the dugout. And they're not going to call him out.
Well, they tried.
I mean, I thought he clearly tagged. I mean, from looking up here, Ty, from your perspective, he clearly tagged the bag. I have no idea what the American Fork bench is yelling about, honestly.
No idea.
I guess they thought he didn't. I mean, it all happened so fast, so you can't really blame them for trying at least. But Nate Newberry waved them down not once but twice, saying, don't even think about it. As Ellison takes out a high strike, and he went. And he's not arguing either. 2 runs already home in the inning. 5-2 Riverton. 1-1 pitch. And this one's down low, 2-1. Bases are empty, 2 out, 2-1. 2 runs already home here in this inning. And the pitch is once again low, 3 balls and a strike. So, American Fork in trouble of adding a 2-out base runner here in the person of Dallin Ellison. In case they can get him on, in case they can strike him out right here. 3-1 pitch. Chopper to third. On 2 hops, Howard throws over to first. And that concludes matters here in the top half of the 5th inning. 2 more runs score for Riverton on an RBI double by Alex Vernon and then a sac fly by Cohen Allred. And we go now to the bottom of inning number 5. It's 5-2 in favor of Riverton in this elimination game. Well, there you see one of the assistant coaches for American Fork as we are trying to figure out the argument that was going on over at third base. I believe the argument was that they did not think that the runner Coleman Garn had tagged up at third base sufficiently enough to score. And so, anyway, after all of that tie, 5-2 now, we go to the bottom half of inning number 5 here. And you know what? This is getting really, really interesting between these two teams. It's crunch time now.
It very well is crunch time, Alex, especially in a 3-run game. American Fork given plenty of opportunities, though. They at least have 3 innings left.
First pitch on the way from McKay Linford is popped up sky high. Good luck seeing this one. Ortiz comes over and squeezes it. And there's one gone. Check that. That's actually Cohen Allred who's taking the place now of McKay Ortiz over at second base.
Well, there you go. 1 pitch, 1 fly out. That'll relieve the stress.
Allred replaces McKay Ortiz at second base. Remember, he was at second base because of Carson Moody starting as the pitcher. Moody now moves back into his normal position in center. As McKay Linford, and this one is driven in the air to right, tailing foul. And it will hit foul and bounce into the Riverton bullpen. 0-1 the count, 1 out here in the bottom half of inning number 5. Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson. The situation is simple, folks. Win or go home. And quite frankly, these are the last 2 teams we expected were going to be in the elimination game, as this one is ripped into right field and a base hit. And Cooper Jones now has a base hit. American Fork has a runner, and they have an opportunity here as Dax Watts steps to the plate.
Well, good job. Cooper Jones, the right-handed batter, he's gotten a couple go into right field, going opposite field, waiting late on his pitches, and gets the strategy down for a second single of the afternoon.
So now here comes Dax Watts up to the plate. 2 runs on 6 base hits for American Fork, no errors. First pitch on the way is high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Had to snatch that back a couple of inches off the right-hand side of the plate. One 0 pitch is actually check throw back to first. And the runner back in. Just past 3 o'clock local time here in Provo, Utah. You're in the bottom of the 5th. Linford's next pitch is left up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander now throwing in the bullpen for American Fork. There's also a right-hander throwing in the Riverton bullpen. Two 0 pitch. That one just misses inside, 3-0. And now Linford in danger of losing Dax Watson, putting 2 on now and bringing the tying run to the plate. American Fork trying to keep their hopes of another title alive. It will be their 4th in 5 years and their 2nd consecutive. Linford's next pitch is taking all the way for a strike by Dax Watts.
Well, other than that double play he had in the 4th inning, Dax Watts, from a batting perspective, he's been pretty quiet. A ground out and a strikeout so far on his batting resume.
3-1 pitch. Lined into center. Moody coming on. Squeezes it. And there's 2 gone.
Now playing number 5, Tayson Howard.
And here comes Tayson Howard now. Remember, the tying run remains in the on-deck circle. Now in the person of Bodie Gagero. And Tayson Howard will step up here, the third baseman, with 2 out. As we've said, the defenses have played a spectacular game today. Tayson Howard with a couple of big plays. Zach Edwards with a couple of big plays. Not to mention the 3 unassisted double play. Check throw back to first. And back in as the runner. 5 runs, 10 hits for Riverton. 2 runs, 6 hits for American Fork. The winner moves on to the semifinals later tonight to face off against Lehigh. First pitch. That one just misses the bottom corner. 1 ball, no strikes. As Allred had to kind of reach out for that one on the left side of the plate. One 0 pitch. High fly ball in the air to left. Hicks coming on. Makes the catch. And that retires the side. American Fork gets a leadoff runner, but they can't do any more than that. After 5 complete innings, the Riverton Silverwolves lead American Fork by 5-2 score. Side of Larry H. Miller Field, coming to you from the Cy and Betty Kimball press box. Alexander Timmel alongside Ty Wilkinson here at the campus of Brigham Young University. 5-2 Riverton as we kick off the top half of the 6th inning, Ty. Riverton got an insurance run, 2 insurance runs, in fact, in that top of the 5th inning. But if you're American Fork, more trouble with the base runners.
It's very troubling to see. You are correct for the base runners for American Fork. They haven't been making much noise ever since the 3rd inning. You got 1 single in the 4th and 1 single in the 5th to get those base runners, but Riverton's pitching as well as defense has handled them pretty well and kept them content and quiet, which I guess is mainly the story of this American Fork team, is how content and quiet the bats have been just during this tournament alone. I mean, yesterday only scoring 2 runs to Lehigh, and as of right now they're being held to 2 runs by the next time they bat here in the bottom of the 6th at that point.
Yeah, and Ty, you know, we talk about the defensive adjustments a lot of these coaches make. What have the coaches done to try and take away this American Fork offense? Because the last 3 teams that have played them, Syracuse, and now you look at Riverton, and you look yesterday at Lehigh. How was American Fork able to be held? How have these coaches been able to adjust to this American Fork offense? As Josh Dodge here showing the viewers at home, the Mountain Ridge Sentinels returning from their lunch break to get ready for their next game.
Well, to say the least, Alex, I think the biggest note that coaches have to do is the shifts in the infield. I think that's what's holding American Fork to the way that they are, because you have a danger in the infield out there if you're American Fork trying to get the ball past, talented fielders like Zach Edwards, Drake Pearsall, Alex Vernon as well, the first baseman. It's just been a difficult task for them.
Easton Hicks leads off the top half of inning number 6, against the new pitcher Jet Walker. As this one is tapped right back to the screen, foul. Cooper Jones moves over to short now, and Bodie Gagero now takes the place of Jet Walker at second. 1-1 pitch. That's a changeup up high, 2-1. It was an RBI single by Drake Pearsall to let everything off, and then it was a double by Alex Vernon that scored the run, as Hicks swings and misses at that one, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and then after that it was a single by Pearsall and an RBI double by Alex Vernon to make it a 5-2 game. Meanwhile, it's a full count here on Easton Hicks, the leadoff man here in the top half of the 6th inning, as some of the Mountain Ridge players come up to sit underneath our area of the press box. 3-2 pitch. See you later. As Hicks strikes out, and there's one gone.
Well, isn't that his specialty? I mean, we've seen it before. Jet Walker gives him a couple off-speed pitches. He likes to do about 2 in a row. Then he'll blow it by him with a fastball, either up in the zone or down low. It's the unpredictability of the pitches of Jet Walker.
Moody skies this one high in the air to center. Coming on and making the catch is the center fielder Mascaro. And quickly there are 2 gone here in the top half of the 6th.
Plate 21, Cavemen.
Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA baseball is presented all season long by Heidemann & Associates and by Igloo Outfitters. Use the promo code REWIND to get 20% off your next order when you order online at IGLUOutfitters.com. Catcher Caden Allred now stands in and takes ball 1 behind his noggin. 1 ball, no strikes in the pitch. There's another off-speeder left up high, 2-0.
Well, he's already been hit by a pitch today. Not sure he exactly wants another one. I'm sure he'll do anything to get on base, so long as it doesn't hit his side again.
That's a good crisp fastball from Walker, 2-1. I would think you'd want those, though, as a hitter. The old battle scars from the circle of dirt as Caden Allred swings and misses that one. 2 strikes now on him with 2 balls and 2 out.
Guess it depends on the ratio of bruise.
Wow. I guess it does. 2-2 pitch. That one is foul. And that one hits the roof. So for the first time today, we have a random roof ringer presented by Any Hour Services for you guys. Which, depending on this AB result, we'll share right now or after the break. That answers my question. As Jet Walker sets down the side. No runs, hits, or errors as the Silverwolves go Ekahi Elua Aloha in their top half of the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th. American Fork, as you see there, their season on the line, huddling up for the final stretch and day for both teams here at Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Timup alongside Ty Wilkinson. Before we get any further, Ty, we had a random roof ringer moment earlier, so what was it?
All right, so I want you to guess, Alex, in the history of players that have come through Utah baseball. I'm not talking about University of Utah, the state of Utah in general. How many batters have made it to Major League Baseball?
How many batters have made it to Major League Baseball?
How many batters?
This is not pitchers, okay.
This is not pitchers included, this is batters.
This is batters, okay. So, how many batters have made it to Major League Baseball? It probably can't be a very big number, I would think, because I know the number of Hawaii baseball major leaguers are very small. I know most of the players in the league come from California, New York, and whatnot.
It depends on what you consider a big number from a little number, I should say, because this could go either or, in my opinion.
Okay, fine. Thank you for confusing me. But I'm going to go with 10.
It is a lot more than 10, I will say. It's more than 4 times more than 10, actually.
You're kidding. How many? How many made it?
44 total have made it ever since Major League Baseball's existence.
No, you gotta be joking. 44 from Utah?
44 from Utah, ever. We're talking in the history of Major League Baseball.
See, when you throw me these history things, Ty, I always think about my history. I never think about the other history things.
All right, well...
You're not, I mean, whenever you say history to me, I always get confused because I always think about if it's my history or based off of your history.
I suppose you're going to ask for some softballs then, but we're playing baseball, Alex. I mean, it's going to be a little bit more tougher in the questions that you're going to get.
I guess so. As we're ready to start the bottom half of inning number 6 here between the American Fork Cavemen and the Riverton Silverwolves. These two teams meeting for the 4th straight time in the UHSAA playoffs. It'll be 6, 7, 8 to start us. And this one is an excuse me swing. Grounded to short. Throw to first is in time to get the put out. And meanwhile, Bodie Gagaro looked like he came up. I don't know if he hurt something or what happened.
It looked like an awkward swing, Alex, and then kind of a twisted ankle trying to run over. Reminder again, we are playing on turf. Those cleats can catch pretty easily, as we saw right there on the carpet.
And Gagaro...
He's walking off a little slow.
Yeah, walked off very slow going to the dugout. Anyway, here's Cash Polson. And this one is up high for ball 1. That might be a storyline to watch because Gagaro goes out. That's one of the better hitters in the heart of the order for the American Fork Cavemen that potentially are going to be falling out of the lineup. That one is just a little bit up high from McKay for 2-0.
I was kind of wondering if it maybe had hit like the knuckle or something right on the edge of the bat because the way he hit it looked a little bit closer down to the cork.
I'm wondering if it did too. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one is right down the middle, strike 1.
You're right, though. That's something to keep an eye on. Fortunately, he is in the DH position today, though.
Well, he took the place of Cooper Jones over at second because Jet Walker moved over as the pitcher to the infield, which is why I say that could be a big loss. You do have some options, though, on your bench if you're American Fork head coach Jared Ingersoll. Anyway, here's the 3-1. This one is fouled, and once again, that's going on the roof. So, we have yet another Any Hour Services random roof ringer. As the count goes full here on Cash Polson, the catcher. 3-2 pitch. That one comes in and plunks him, and I think that one just got away from Linford. Alrighty, Ty. Second one of this inning. Go ahead.
All right, well, I know you're a Braves fan, so I wanted to give you this question instead. So the Atlanta Braves, which originally started in Boston, correct?
Yes, exactly, the Boston Braves.
And so they actually had a name before that, before their name was changed in 1912. So here's history. I'll give you a history, but it's Braves related, so let's see if you can get this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. What was their name when they originated in Boston?
Oh man, I know there were two other names beforehand, but I think it was the Boston Bean Eaters, wasn't it?
It was indeed, after the famous Boston Baked Beans.
Yeah, Boston Baked Beans, that's right. And then the other one was the Boston Red Stockings. They were the OG Boston Red Sox, as it were, before Boston became famous.
Well, look at you, in your history over there, Alex. I just had to throw Atlanta Braves in the question. You can get it right.
I would also say they won the World Series in 1914 in Boston, so they won a World Series before the Red Sox were even relevant in that city. No offense to any of the Red Sox fans watching at home, though, as this one goes up high 2-0, and Josh Dodge points out to me we have an arm in the bullpen for Riverton. Yes, we do. Riverton has an arm up in McCade Ortiz, who started the game at second base, was substituted out for Carson Moody on the double switch, and now he has an opportunity to potentially come in as the pitcher in the 7th inning. 1-0 the count, runner on first, and the pitch. Hit in the air to left, on a line. Hicks having trouble tracking it, and it falls for a base hit. Looked like he tripped on the grass in the outfield. And just like that, the tying run will come to the plate.
We've seen a couple issues out there in previous games in left field, Alex, with trippage or, losing the ball at least at one point. I think he was anticipating the wind giving this ball a little bit more carry as it is coming out of the right field side, going right to left.
So tying run at the plate. 1 out, 1-0 count. Linford pitches. Foul. That's heading up into the stands, not far enough to get into University Parkway.
Well,
One strike.
It actually bounced Alex off the step into University Parkway.
There is so much traffic going up to the Marriott Center right now. The Westlake High School graduation is about to start in about 40 minutes over there at the Marriott Center. Lone Peak just finished up theirs. American Fork did theirs earlier this morning. 0-1 pitch. This one hit in the air to center field, driving Moody back. He will come in, make the catch. Runner will tag. And Caden Allred is saying throw back to second, as they didn't think the runner tagged, but it looked like he did. And so runners now at the corners with 2 gone in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And you have to say, Ty, if there was ever a time for American Fork to take advantage with runners in scoring position, this is it.
Well, that's a good fly out right there by Dax Greening. It's as good as a sacrifice, putting the runners on the corners in a 3-scorer game. And now you bring up the top of the order to try to do some damage here late, especially with the 2-out opportunity given to C.J. Mascaro.
C.J. Mascaro now, the leadoff man for the American Fork Cavemen. Runner on first, runner on third. Mascaro represents a tying run, and the pitch is right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. (5-2) Riverton.
Look how far their second baseman is playing out there, Alex.
Yeah, Cohen Allred is almost halfway out to the Y there at right field. Good change up there and a strike call right at the knees. 0-2. And now Linford has Mascaro right where he wants him. The 0-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looked like Allred had to snatch that up a little bit off the carpet a few inches.
That was a high heat fastball. Goodness, that was so close.
How do you lay off that if you're Mascaro? 1-2 the count, then the pitch. And it hits him.
Oh, are they going to say?
Or did he lean into it? They're going to say he leaned into it again. And here comes Jared Ingersoll now out of the dugout. And he's going to come up to have a chat with home plate umpire Nate Newberry. Meanwhile, the American Fork bench, one of their assistants is incensed.
Both dugouts were yelling at each other.
So Jared Ingersoll is pleading his case. And now here comes the crew chief, who is home plate umpire, by the way, Nate Newberry. And they're going to put their heads together again. Nate Newberry, Rob Kroll, and Dylan Hampton are officials, or are umpires, rather. And Newberry, by the way, is the crew chief.
Well, this is such a tough call, at least in my opinion, Alex, as an umpire.
So we're going to try it again.
So that's the second time we've seen an American Fork batter lean in.
So second time an American Fork batter has leaned in.
And the fans are livid.
More so the red shirts are livid more than the purple shirts. As Ingersoll is going to have a chat with Mascaro and discuss with him what the ruling was from umpire Nate Newberry. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count, as the lean into the pitch would have prevented ball 2. Second time that has happened today against American Fork.
That could have easily thrown a little bit of wrench into the momentum of CJ Mascaro on a 2-2 count.
Here we go again. The 2-2 pitch. Tip foul to the screen. 6th pitch of the AB coming up here. Well, we promised you fireworks. We're getting them. Here it is again. Foul. Pitch number 7 coming up here. Jared Ingersoll up the third base line, just trying to keep his center fielder here calm.
McKay Linford has had outstanding innings. Can he close this one out?
We're ready. Runners on the corners and the 2-2 payoff. Jammed, up to second, caught, inning over.
Fifth game has scored no runs on 1 hit. No errors, strand 2 runners. At the end of 6, it's the Silverwolves 5.
This is 6A baseball at its best. Riverton and American Fork going punch for punch. 5-2 Riverton as we head to the last inning. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field and the Cy and Betty Kimball press box here at the campus of Brigham Young University. 5-2 is our score between Riverton and American Fork. Ty, this game has lived up to everything we expected it. Great defensive plays, clutch offense, and we've even had emotional fireworks this afternoon. You gotta love this game.
It's been a little bit of everything. It kind of reminds me of the game yesterday of Lehigh and American Fork. American Fork playing with such intensity, but the intensity doesn't, I don't think, show on the scoreboard, because 2 runs against a Riverton team for an American Fork team that's known for scoring close into double digits for most of their games. It felt like at least half of the season that was the way that American Fork was scoring. But I'll come back to that stat that I said earlier, I think it was the 5th inning, Alex, that American Fork in the first 2 innings is where they get their firepower. And they're usually unstoppable in their first 2 innings for 71 points in their 214 that they've scored all year.
And how many base runners did they leave on base today? The American Fork Cavemen, over the last 3 games, have really come back to hurt them, as Zach Edwards looked like he went. He did. Strike 1.
The bases loaded opportunities. American Fork has had so many, you can only, I feel like you can barely even count on one hand.
Pitch picked up off the carpet right there by the catcher Polson. 2 balls and a strike now to Zach Edwards, the Oregon State shortstop commit. 2-1 pitch. That one is right there, strike 2.
I was going to say American Fork has kept the Oregon State man himself pretty quiet. He's 0 for 3 today. Fly out.
2-2 pitch. Fouled right back to the screen.
From a fielding perspective, though, he's been outstanding.
Zach Edwards now. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count, and the pitch. And that one is golfed foul over the right field stands. 6th pitch of the AB coming up here for the Oregon State commit, Zach Edwards. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Base hit. And Zach Edwards does have his first base knock of the day. And it comes at a crucial time. And a big insurance run now here out at second, or at first base rather, for the Riverton Silverwolves here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, now you put a guy who is tied for the lead in stolen bases with 12.
Here comes Drake Pearsall. He's 3 for 3 today. RBI single, RBI double, and RBI single, double, and a single. And he pops this one way up. Good luck trying to see this. Where is that going? And Polson runs into the fence. Goodness.
I think that knocked the wind out of him, Alex. He hit the corner.
And thank goodness the padding is there. And this place just got dead quiet really quick. Hopefully he's able to get up on his own.
The wind was trolling with that, Alex. It pushed it. I mentioned that.
I mean, that thing was tracking from one side of the bag, one side of the Y on deck circle, all the way back to the other.
Well, when you hit it a mile high, the wind is bound to catch at least a little bit of it, and unfortunately caught the edge of that corner of that facade. But as you mentioned, thankfully that portion is padded as he's up.
And thankfully he's not favoring his shoulder, which often can happen when you run into the padding like that hard. And we should point out there's padding, there is required to be padding on every chain link fence in college baseball, and to a certain extent in high school baseball as well, because a few years ago at the University of Hawaii, there was an incident where a Wichita State outfielder flipped over, but the chain link fence ended up spearing him and caused internal bleeding and a ruptured spleen. That's why it's there. So it's there for safety reasons more than anything. Because they don't want a repeat of what happened at Les Murakami Stadium, and that's why they have standardized it across college baseball and high school baseball.
And thank goodness for that. And luckily for Cash Poulsen, he has that extra protective layer as a catcher too. I think it just knocked the wind out of him, but he's up and going.
0-2 pitch. Goodbye. Drake Pearsall strikes out. And there's one gone.
At plate number 25, Alex Vernon.
So that'll bring up the powerful first baseman Alex Vernon, who had an RBI double back in the 5th inning, scoring Drake Pearsall. He also nearly had a home run back on March 15th that basically closed it out against AF. Can he do it again here?
Well, he also had a sac fly too in the 3rd. He's had a great day so far, Alex.
That whole heart of the lineup, 4, 5, 6, Pearsall, Vernon, Zulo, have been incredible today for Jay Applegate's Silverwolves. First pitch to him is hit a mile high into right, tailing foul. And that's going to land where the temporary bleachers should be, but they aren't. 1 strike. Approaching 3:45, just past 3:30 here. Local time here in Provo on Game 2 of Day 3. The winner moves on to tonight's semifinal match against Lehigh. The loser season's over. Runner goes off. Edwards gonna now turn for 3rd. Thrown down to 3rd. He is safe. Well,
was I not referencing the leader in stolen bases? Why not 2?
It'll go down as one stolen base and an error on the catcher.
And just like that, you put him at third base in a powerful Zach Edwards.
That pitch bounces up to the plate. 2 balls and a strike now on Alex Vernon.
And you see how the American Fork infielders are shifted. They want to prevent this run.
Can Alex Vernon do his closer's role again? And this one is fouled onto the roof. That one hits onto the tarp, so that means for the 3rd time today, it's our Any Hour Services random roof ringer, which we'll have after this AB. And it's a big one. 2-2. The pitch. And the count goes full on Alex Vernon, with Dylan Zulo standing on deck.
I say let's do it after this bat, or this at bat. Let's build the drama here and the tension, because I think he kind of deserves it down
What
there.
do you think I've been doing for the last few pitches, though? Come on now. 3-2 pitch. Liner into center. That is a base hit. Edwards will score. Yes, he can do it again.
Now playing the 6th, Dylan Zulo.
6-2 Riverton.
An RBI in the 3rd, RBI in the 5th, RBI in the 7th.
3 runs batted in today. A sac fly, single, and double, all RBIs for Alex Vernon. And they're going to leave him out there, as this one is tailing foul off to the right from Dylan Zulo. All right, Ty, what do you got for us?
All right, so, as you know, baseball used to be a sport in the Olympics. It was a full medal sport. Can you guess the year and the duration that it was in the Olympics and when it concluded?
I know it was, let's see, I know baseball stopped in 08 because they haven't played any baseball in the Olympics since 08. I'm going to say probably, as this is swung on and missed by Zulo, I'm going to say it was it started in the original Olympics in 1900 and it went all the way to 2008.
Baseball did not start in the early 1900s. It actually started 92 years later in 1992.
That recent.
Indeed, that recent.
As Zulo strikes out, staring at a pitch. That is fascinating to know. I thought for the longest time baseball was in the 1900s, but I was thinking of the other sport that was stopped after 1904 was golf. Golf was stopped after 1904, brought back in 2016, and as people have noticed in the last 2 Olympic Games, it's become wildly popular and dramatic as Zulo, or rather Allred, singes this one off the end of the bat into left center field. He'll be held there at first. And that's the 13th hit today by the Riverton Silverwolves against this American Fork pitching staff.
Alex, as you mentioned, the heart of the lineup, they are 8 of 12 on the day.
I mean, the only blips on the radar was Zulo's strikeout and Pearsall's strikeout. Other than that, they've been magnificent. And you talk about the biggest time to come up with your best games of the year. This has been it for Riverton. 6-2. Top of the 7th inning. Runner in scoring position as time is called by home plate umpire Nate Newberry. The winner moves on to face the Lehigh Pioneers later tonight. The loser's season is over. Jay Applegate talked to me about getting back to this position, how he wanted to get back into this position against American Fork. Carson Moody wanted to be here. This one is down low on the carpet, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Riverton has done more than their fair share to let it be known that they're still a contender. 1-1 pitch. That one is also down low on the carpet. Runner on first, runner on second, and here comes the pitching coach out of the dugout as he's looking over towards the bullpen, and It has not motioned for it yet, so I suspect this is just a mound visit. Good time to remind you that at the conclusion of this game, Ty and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann Associates player of the game. The player that made the difference for the winning team today, just like the winning team that's committed to you, the client. Contact Heidemann Associates today for your free consultation, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. Two balls and one strike with two out and runners on first and second here in the top half of the seventh inning. One run already home on the huge RBI single by Alex Vernon, who's standing by himself now at second base.
I'm actually surprised they have him as out there instead of having a pinch runner out there, Alex, to prevent the fatigue going into what would hopefully you'd have to later play Lehigh.
That one is swung on and missed. Two balls and a strike now on Dallin Ellison, the 8th man in the order. Easton Hicks, the left fielder, up next. That one is right there, strike two. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Deuces wild for Dallin Ellison. Got him. Chet Walker does his job. And now it's up to the American Fork offense. They've got 3 outs to save their season. They huddle up one more time. This is it, folks. It's win or go home. The champs are on the ropes. Can they find a way to save their season? Yes, folks, we are in crunch time. 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Riverton. 2 runs, just 7 hits for the American Fork Cavemen, and the #1 seed and the defending 6A champions are on the ropes. They have 3 outs to save their season. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson here at Larry H. Miller Field, coming to you live from the Kimball Press Box on the campus of Brigham Young University. Well, Ty, this is it. If I had told you before this tournament started that American Fork would be on the ropes in an elimination game after just 3 games, I would have said you're crazy.
I would have too. I mean, saying the words on the ropes, I would have thought you would have been, maybe it's only a 2-run game. It's a 4-run game right now, and the deficit that American Fork is facing.
Good pitch by Linford, but the catcher Allred had to snatch it down a couple of inches, ball 1.
Fortunately for American Fork, though, Jet Walker and Cooper Jones, the 2 and 3 hitter, have both RBIs so far tonight.
Isaac Jones, #1, now stands in the bullpen for the Riverton Silverwolves as Jet Walker goes to 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Outside and high, 3-1. American Fork looking for something to start a rally here to save their season. 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way, strike called. If Walker's able to get on base, the tying run will be in the hole. 3-1. Ball 4. Check it, strike 2. That was right there. As Walker got ahead of himself and had to re-strap up his elbow pad, and Jared Ingersoll says, play on.
Be vigilant of that, too. As a batter, that can throw you off when you think that you had the walk. Instead, now you have the full count mentality.
Just got the end of the bat on that one.
There's a big difference, Alex, between a 3-1 count and a 3-2 count. And, I mean, you're very, very vigilant of that, too, as he thought he had that walk.
3-2. Ground ball, right side, long throw. It is off the bag. And meanwhile, Walker pulls up at first. And it looks like he's holding either his foot or his calf.
It's a hyperextension.
And it looks like it's a cramp. We talked about earlier how We talked about, Ty, how earlier it's got to be close to 80, 90 degrees down there on the field, and sometimes stuff like that can happen.
It's true. He kind of, I don't know if you saw it over there, Alex, when he was stepping on first, his cleat was kind of catching in because he was trying to avoid Alex Vernon. Yeah, the big first baseman trying to get the baseball that was kind of thrown on a hobble side.
Meanwhile, joining Isaac Jones in the bullpen is McCade Ortiz as Jay Applegate's out to the mound. Isn't going to make a move yet for those right-handers.
If I'm Ingersoll, by the way, I don't understand why we're not getting a pinch runner over to first base, especially if he's dealing with the cramp as such.
Meanwhile, there you see the bullpen Josh Dodge is pointing out right now. McCade Ortiz on the left. You don't see Isaac Jones. He's behind the pole there on the right side, but they are both throwing, both right-handers. So the tying run now in the hole for American Fork with nobody out. First pitch. That one is down low in the dirt. Ball one.
Keep an eye over there on first. Jet Walker is very slow to get a lead.
Jones, Watts, Howard, the next three. The pitch. That one is just a little bit low. 2-0. That one had to be snatched up a few inches by the catcher, Allred. 2-0 pitch. Line drive, base hit to left. And the tying run will be on deck.
Now play number 25, Dax Watts.
And so we're not pow yet here at Larry Miller Field. Jay Applegate's looking over to the bullpen. And I believe he is now going to make a move. And he is. The tying run for the American Fork Cavemen is now on deck. McKay Linford is done. We have a pitching change. The drama builds in Provo, Utah. Well, here we go then. McCade Ortiz, the spotlight's on you now. Tying run on deck, 6-2 Riverton, bottom of the 7th inning. Winner go home elimination game. Ty Wilkinson, you cannot get any bigger than this moment here for this young man.
Especially when you have Alex, the #1 seed, on the border of elimination. I mean, that in and of itself is impressive. But now the fact that this opportunity comes down to you, you get the 3 outs. This isn't a come in and pick up what someone left off situation, unless you're talking about the base runners. But now you have to come all the way and get all 3 outs from the heart of American Fork's lineup.
Number 12, McCade.
We remind you, of course, that McKay Linford is responsible for the runners at first and second. He is responsible for Jet Walker and for Cooper Jones. There have been 9 hits scattered in this game by American Fork, but off of it, they've only scored 2 runs. Can they find a way to finally get through to the other side and break through this seemingly impenetrable Riverton pitching staff and defense?
Coming to the plate for the Cavemen, number 25, Dax Watts.
Well, we knew it was going to be a reliever battle. Let's see if the closer can get it done now.
McCade Ortiz comes in. McKay Linford went 3+ after the starter. Carson Moody went 3 1/3 innings. Went 3 2/3 plus. Or went 2 2/3 plus. Now it's up to McCade Ortiz. First pitch. High ball 1. Take a look at that American Fork dugout right now. Everybody's on the top step.
Not only is the pressure on, but so is the shift in the infield, too. You got a big gap over there. right between second and third, and he's known for going opposite field too.
This one is turned on foul down the line. 1 strike. Watts was well out in front of that pitch.
Man, if he shoots that in the gap too, it's a 2-run game. What a difference a swing makes.
1 ball and 1 strike. Look back at second in the pitch. That's inside. 3 balls and a strike now, or 2 balls and a strike now. And you got to think this is a hit and run situation here for American Fork. Dax Watts got the win in Monday's game against Syracuse. As we have a bit of confusion here, Dax Watts called time and Caden Allred didn't hear it from home plate umpire Nate Newberry. 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Good off-speed outside pitch to tie the count at 2 apiece.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, and the tying run on deck in the person of Tayson Howard. And Allred wants time for a second to gather himself.
How hard must it be to be a right-handed pitcher getting yelled at by that American Fork dugout? Playing baseball in the past, I'd say it's pretty difficult.
We're ready. 2-2. Got him!
At plate for 5, Tayson Howard.
Here comes Tayson Howard now. The tying run remains on deck. Deep shift here at second base by Cohen Allred, playing almost onto the outfield turf. Some of the fans for Riverton rise to their feet down here on our right-hand side. First pitch. Good off-speeder, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Chop to first. Vernon is there. Unassisted. 2 out. Runners will move up 90 feet. But it prevents the tying run from coming to the plate. And now Bodie Guerrero is tasked with keeping American Fork's season and hopes of a repeat and their 4th title in 5 seasons alive. The Riverton fans rise to their feet down to our right-hand side. First pitch. Strike 1. Nope, called it outside. My bad. It was a little bit outside and low. Nate Newberry saw it all the way. I had a better view of it than he did. Or at least I thought I did anyway. It looked like it was picked up off the carpet. 1-0 pitch. That's outside, 2-0. Well, Ty, wouldn't it be the worst thing if you walk Guerrero, then you're set up for the force at any base?
I would have to completely agree.
Two-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. And now do you potentially send the runners here is the question. Cohen Allred remains playing all the way close halfway out to the Y logo at midfield. Three balls and a strike now. A pitch away from loading the bases and bringing the tying run to the plate. The Riverton fans on our right side are all standing.
Well, here's a comfortable count.
The pitch. Did he go? No. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded. And the tying run will come to the plate in the person of Cash Polson. The winning run now stands on deck.
That is a huge walk by Bodie Guerrero to load the bases yet again for American Fork. That's the storyline, Alex.
This one hit in the air, down the line and left, trailing foul, and it will land foul in the trees. Boy, it was far enough for a home run. Wow.
Could you imagine
tied the game
if that straightens out?
Two out. One strike against him. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. High fly ball in the air to left. Hicks going back. They said they would get through them again. They have. Riverton has knocked out the champs.
Riverton will play this evening at 7 p.m. versus the Lehigh Pioneers. And we wish to give our congratulations to the American Fork Cavemen and their great run through playoffs and their great season. Ladies and gentlemen, as you stand and move and leave the stadium today, please look around and make sure you have all your personal belongings. Also, double check that your trash is clean, and if you have something, take it to the trash receptacle. Thanks for coming, and thanks for enjoying some good afternoon baseball.
The American Fork Cavemen brought the tying run to the plate, but in the bottom of the 7th, no runs, 2 base hits, and has been the story all tournament long. They left the bases loaded. The Riverton Silverwolves, finalists last year, winners 2 years ago, punched their ticket to the semifinals for a date with the Lehigh Pioneers. Ty Wilkinson, that was another Riverton American Fork Classic.
To say the least, Alex. And you saw the first game that they had ever played at the beginning of the year. And until they've met again in the postseason here at Larry H. Miller Park, nothing else would have happened until that point. It just built the drama. And in an elimination game, the reigning champion in American Fork has been defeated by the Riverton Silverwolves.
There will be no repeat title for American Fork. Their repeat bid and their bid for a 4th title in 5 years is denied by the team that beat them 2 years ago in the championship round. Time for our Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game, presented by Heidemann & Associates. Ty, there are so many people we could give it to today for Riverton, but we have to go with the man who effectively sealed the game with his RBI single, with clutch hit after clutch hit today, the first baseman, Alex Vernon.
Alex Vernon, yeah, like you said, sacrifice fly in the 3rd. He had an RBI double in the 5th and an RBI in the 7th. He gave plenty of insurance runs to the heart of the Riverton lineup. I mean, batting 3 for 4, but he still had a sac fly with it and the run on top of it. Not to mention his outstanding grabs that he's had over there at first. He's just an all-around amazing ball player, and he does, in fact, deserve the player of the game, as duly noted tonight.
All right, Ty. We now know one of our semifinal matchups is going to be Riverton against Lehigh later tonight at 7 p.m. approximately. Ty, just take me through what that matchup is going to be like. Take the viewers at home through what that matchup is going to be like, because Riverton was punched once. You can guarantee they will be ready this time for the Lehigh offense.
I guarantee you they will be. Lehigh, a very difficult team in the postseason. They knocked off both American Fork and Riverton. But I must say, it's all going to come down to if Lehigh is ready to have that other punch come in. They're on that record right now where they've beaten American Fork and Riverton. Can they do it again, though? That's the biggest question.
No team has ever beaten Riverton twice or American Fork twice in the same season since American Fork started their championship run and dynasty back in 2019. That'll do it for me and Ty. The elimination rounds are completed. We now know our semifinals, and now we get to decide who are the last two teams standing in the 6A bracket.
There will be a new champion, Alex.
And we do know now, yes indeed, Ty, there will indeed be a new champion of 6A baseball this season. We'll be back with the third game of the day and the start of the semifinal round in just a little bit on KSL Sports Rewind.